All right, all right, all right. I think we are live. I think I'm live where I'm supposed to be. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Brittainy Noel, live therapist here in Houston, Texas. And I am going live because I promised the tribe that I was going to go live more often, right? And I haven't been able to go live every week like I want to, but we're working on it. Okay. We're working it into the schedule. So if you're just joining, I'm happy that you guys can join live with me. I have not done a live Q&A in a few weeks. It hasn't been that long. Hey, Miss Tawana. It hasn't been that long. It's maybe it's been 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe a month. Okay. So I said, let me join tonight and do a live Q&A, so I can talk to my people, say, hey, see how y'all are doing. Hopefully I am live across all platforms because, I just be hitting buttons and hoping things work. Okay. So I'm happy that you guys are joining. Let me know where you're from. Okay. What side of the world are you from? Because we're going to get into some questions tonight. And I can't wait to see what's on y'all's minds. Okay. Now, only announcements that I have, right? Y'all know Heart Talks Miami. Well, we have Heart Talks Miami and Heart Talks New York. We are closing out our tour for 2025. I'm so excited, y'all. It's been interesting. So I'm happy to be closing out the tour for this year 2025, and we have some amazing things coming up. Hey, Miss Kelly. Hey, Miss Karen on YouTube. We have some amazing things coming up, and I'll let you guys know as we are ready to release them. But I look forward to coming to more cities, meeting more of you guys in person. I love meeting y'all in person. Y'all tell me y'all stories, and I get emotional. All right, so I love the in person interaction. That's what does it for me. So I can't wait to meet you guys in Miami on the 9th, and New York on the 23rd. Now, New York is my birthday show. So I have already warned TDF. Okay, TDF is the Daily Fix family. I've already warned them that I'm probably going to be very extra. Okay, very extra. That's my birthday show. We got to have fun. So New York is going to be fun. You can still get tickets for both shows. HeartTalksTour.com. HeartTalksTour.com. You can still get tickets to those shows. I would love to see you in person. And there is nothing like attending the Heart Talk show in person. Okay? Nothing like it. So I'm excited for these last two shows. We're going to have fun. All right, all right, all right. TDF is here. I love it. The Daily Fix, sound off in the chat. All right, let me know that y'all are with me. So, the Daily Fix is my morning meetup community. If you guys are ever like, where is Brittainy? We don't see her online because y'all know I am good for not posting. I promise you, I'm getting better at it, but I am good at not posting. I post maybe once or twice a week, and I'm working on it. I promise you, I'm working on it. But when I'm not on Instagram or TikTok or anywhere else, I am always, 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 always with my Daily Fix people. The Daily Fix is the morning meetup community. They work with me every morning as we work on different parts of our lives. This week, the Daily Fix, we have been focused on healing, right? Healing emotional wounds, our heart wounds. So we've had some great conversations about what healing actually looks like. And so you can go to the Daily Fix Instagram to catch some of our replays, but we do amazing work in the Daily Fix. So if you're ever like, man, I really want to work with Brittainy, I want to be able to talk to Brittainy, the Daily Fix is where you want to be, okay? Because they are the people who have access to me. Rain, sleet, or snow, I'm going to show up for them. So that is the Daily Fix, you guys. All right. All right, all right, all right. So, hey, Miss Bridget. Okay, I I I think I have more announcements, but we can wait. Um, we're gonna do our live question and answer tonight. Live question and answer. That means that you guys get to ask me some questions, and hopefully, I got some answers for you. Right. So the way we do it is, the first question I see, all right, whether it's my people on YouTube, I cannot see any TikTok comments. I don't even know where to go to find TikTok comments. Okay. But so whether it's YouTube or Instagram, Tell me, what is the first question? Okay. When are you coming to New York? August 23rd. August 23rd for my birthday. August 23rd for my birthday. We gonna have fun for my birthday. We're gonna have fun in New York. But August 23rd, we'll be in New York, and August 9th, we'll be in Miami. Go to hearttalkstour.com to get your tickets, okay? I would love to go to Afrotech. Absolutely. Shoot me an email. There we go. Kia has the first question of the night. Let's look at Kia's question. How do I not run away from myself? I just moved and it is so hard. Hmm. So, um, I'm assuming you moved cities or you moved in a new apartment or somewhere. You changed locations. Your dwelling has moved, right? So typically, when I'm moving, we literally just talked about this in the Daily Fix either today or yesterday. But moving, oh gosh, I'm missing a whole bunch of stuff. Okay. So, but moving typically represents or it symbolizes a life transition, right? So it means that my life is elevating in some way. I am changing, I'm shifting in some way, whether I'm moving away from people or I'm leaving a relationship, right? So moving many times has some great things about it because I'm happy that I am elevating. And then I can also have some places about this move where I am grieving, right? Because the truth is that even in good situations when I am moving or I'm leveling up or I'm changing something, I can be excited about the goodness that's happening, but I can also be sad about what it is that I have to leave, about who it is that I now have to become in order to sustain this new lifestyle, right? So there can be grief associated with the move that it makes sitting with myself that much harder. So when you talk about wanting to run from yourself, most times it's not that you're running from you, you're running from the grief that you're holding. Okay. I'm running from the grief. I'm running from the sadness. I'm running from the unanswered questions that I have. I'm running from the, you know, disappointments of what this last season was for me. I'm running from the unknown because this move also comes with a lot of question marks, right? And so sitting with yourself is very uncomfortable because there's a lot happening internally. The best thing you can do, okay, I've been there. Tell people all the time when I moved to Houston, I knew nobody here. I came for school and a relationship, right? The relationship ended, so then I just had school. And I moved to a whole different side of town. I didn't know anybody in Houston. Moved to a whole different side of town. And when I moved into my apartment, I hated being in my apartment because it was so quiet. Because in my apartment, it was just me. And when I was there, the only thing I heard were all of my thoughts, all of my feelings, all of my emotions. Everything was just this big tornado. And so I would go get in my car and I would drive around the city. And I always say, this is how I learned that 610 in Houston is a circle because I was on 610 and I was just driving and I was like, I know I just passed this. Right? So I was physically running from myself because I didn't want to sit in the silence, because in the silence is where I heard and I felt everything the loudest. There is no way through it but through it. So this means you go to a park, sit down by yourself, get out a journal. And all those thoughts that you have, good, bad, or ugly, just journal them out. Get them out of your head and onto paper. Allow yourself to cry. Allow yourself to grieve. Allow yourself to be grateful for the new stuff that's coming, for the doors that are opening. And also allow myself to make space for, even in the midst of a good thing, I can still be holding some sadness. And that's okay. So the only way through it is to go through it. And the longer you run from yourself, the longer you just remain unhappy. So confronting yourself, sitting down with yourself, making room for yourself is how you learn to stop running. Okay? All right. Thank you, Miss Kia. She's talking about, I'm looking for furniture. I did that too. I'm like, I gotta run, errands. There are no more errands you have to run. There is nowhere else you need to be but with yourself, right? I'm telling you, this is how I learned where all the parks were, because I would just go to the park and I would just sit down and just be with myself. right? And not be afraid of whatever comes up in that silence, because whatever comes up in the silence, it's all me. It's all a part of me. And I can't have a healthy relationship with me if I'm running from parts of myself. Don't happen that way. All right, all right, all right. Next question. Let me go over to Instagram. Let's go over to Instagram. Let's see. What do I see over here? I'm just going to go to a random question. Okay. I would say, how do I figure out? Hold on. Listen, I've learned how to block people so fast on YouTube. That's why I hate going live on YouTube. I've learned how to block people so quick. Okay. I don't even have to know. Okay. That's hilarious. Okay. So the question I see here, how do you know that you are leaving the relationship for the right reason at the right time? There's no such thing as the right time when we talk about leaving a relationship. Sometimes it's not even a question of the right reason, right? Leaving a relationship is not an emotional decision, period. Leaving a relationship, as much as it feels emotional, it's not an emotional decision. Leaving a relationship is actually a very logical decision. What gets in the way are all of the emotions that we feel. But when I'm in connection with someone, when I'm in a relationship with someone, it's very logical for me to sit down and ask myself, how does this person, how do we both um, meet the needs of one another? Right? How do we both show up in each other's lives where we are accountable to one another? We are nurturing for one another. We are supportive for one another. It's a logical answer. What gets in the way is one, emotions, and two, lack of self identity. One of the reasons why it's hard for us to tell should we stay or should we leave a bad relationship is because we don't know ourselves enough to know what kind of relationship is going to sustain me. So we're picking people hoping that they're the one, hoping that they have what I need. All the while, I don't even know myself well enough to know what things do I need to be sustained in a healthy relationship. So I'm just going off of what I see on social media, right? If I just was being picky and I heard half the time people say, oh, I want a man who's a provider. Okay, well, what does providership actually mean? What is the definition of providership for you, right? And what are the deal breakers about providership that you actually need to be in a relationship? Because for every person, that answer will look different. You can't blanket these standards and think that they're going to work for you in your relationship. You have to know yourself well enough to know, how is this person that I'm with meeting my needs, and how well do I meet their needs, right? So it's never whether I stay in a relationship or leave in a relationship, it's always a logical decision. What gets in the way are our emotions and lack of self identity, right? And so the better that you get at knowing who you are, um, you will do a better job at knowing who I'm connecting with, whether or not they are someone who's worth the work that it takes to be in a healthy relationship. All healthy relationships, I don't care who it is. Okay. I don't care where you come from. I don't care. I don't care how much work y'all have done. Right. There is no relationship that does not require work. Period. Healthy relationships will always require that you confront yourself. My partner is always my mirror. So the challenging part about being in a relationship is that my partner, the one that I love, the one that I enjoy spending the most time with, they're always reflecting back to me who I am, good, bad, and ugly. Period. So if you're not clear about who you are, when they start reflecting back to you your shortcomings, you will think that they're the problem. You're always criticizing me. You're always putting me down. You're always, or, or These are people who have always, these are issues that have always been present. And I'm now with a partner who forces me to confront these parts of myself. Right. So that's even in a healthy relationship. So a relationship being tried is normal. Now, a relationship that's struggling is not. Right. A relationship being tried is normal. A relationship struggling, two different things. Okay. Right. Y'all, see, this is why I'm blocking everybody that looks weird on YouTube. Okay. Let me go to my YouTube question. How do I get out of being comfortable in my own self sabotage? If that makes sense, it makes perfect sense. Um, the In the Daily Fix, we actually did a whole segment related to self sabotage. The key to overcoming your self sabotage is you have to understand why you sabotage. So, self sabotage is a defense mechanism. Most times you're trying to protect yourself from something, right? So, what most people don't realize about procrastination, um, people pleasing, self sabotage, right? All of those things are reactions to something going on inside of me, right? So those are the behaviors that I'm taking related to a fear that I have. Most times it's fear. Um, but at the core, I am sabotaging because I am unable to tolerate the emotions that come with whatever it is that I'm up against, right? So if I'm trying to build a business, if I'm trying to be in a relationship, when we go into self sabotage, most times it's because emotionally we have become so overwhelmed with emotions that we shut down. And now I'm acting and behaving in ways that are against my better interest. It's not something that we do on purpose, right? It is a lot of it is biological because when my fight or flight system is activated, you either activate or you shut down. So if I activate, this is where you'll see people who they start working on everything. They working on everything except for what they're supposed to be working on, right? So they'll help their friends, they'll help their family, they'll show up in all these other places, and so they're busy, so they're exhausted and they're tired, but they're not actually focused on the parts of their lives that will actually change their life. That's another form of self sabotage and procrastination, right? So to heal self sabotage, I first need to understand what's being activated to where I am so afraid that I feel like I need to protect myself. And you're protecting yourself by whatever it is you're doing to sabotage. So what exactly am I afraid of? And the fear is not always of things going bad or that I'll fail. Sometimes the fear is if I'm successful, right? If I'm successful, it means a whole lot more responsibility. It means that people are now counting on me. It means people now have expectations of me. So even if I do well, there's fear associated to doing well because now I have to become a whole new person to sustain whatever it is that I'm building, right? So to heal self sabotage, I first have to understand why the sabotage is present. What am I afraid of? When you get down to the bottom of the fear, you start working on the issue that has you afraid. Make sense? All right. All right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Where's Indy? Is that Indiana? Okay. Next question. Hey, Wes. Wes is in TDF in DC. Give it up for DC. I'm going to make my way out there, I promise you. And I'm going to do it so magnificent just because I made DC wait. It's going to be so amazing in DC when I come. All right, next question. And then I'm going to give y'all a journal prompt. Is 8 years single normal? How do I know when to start again? All right. So is 8 years single normal? Absolutely. There's nothing abnormal about being single, right? Because to me, you're single until you're married, right? So even in dating, you're technically still single. So 8 years single, absolutely normal, right? But the fact that you said, when should I start again? Lets me know that not only are you not partnered or not in a relationship, but it also tells me that you're not actually putting effort into finding whatever your happy ending is going to be, right? So when should I start again tells me that you're not putting effort into it. When should I start again tells me that you've kind of put dating on this shelf and it'll happen when it happens, or if somebody asks me, or if somebody else. So what I find interesting is that people, not just women, mostly women, but people will say that they want to date, right? Or they say that they want to be in a relationship, but they don't actually put forth any effort in order to position themselves for a relationship. And when I say effort to position myself in a relationship, I'm not talking about being on dating apps or, going to, these parties where people are dating and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about, right? Positioning myself for dating is a mindset. Positioning myself to be in a relationship is a mindset, right? It means that I am open to love coming to me in all areas of my life, not just in romance. Positioning myself to be in a relationship starts with how open am I to giving and receiving love from anybody who's ready to give it to me and I want to get it from them, right? So being positioned for a relationship doesn't most people are not blocking themselves from being in a relationship because they're not out or they're not meeting people or whatever. It's because they have a mindset that blocks them from even being open to the idea and the concept of dating, right? I remember, and it's a gut response. I remember years ago I was at a car wash minding my own beautiful business, okay, doing what I do, and I think I was well removed from, the traumatic relationship that's in my book. So I knew I was dating, but I wasn't actively dating, right? I'm just living my life, doing me, right? I am someone who I tell people, we'll talk about it one day, but I've never just been, God send me somebody. I never, never, it's never been me, right? I've always been content and solid in the fact that my partner will be manifested when it's time. Now, that's a whole thing. I will go into it later because I do believe effort has to be behind it, and showing up and positioning yourself is important. It doesn't just happen, right? I don't believe that. But I'm just going about my own business. I'm at the car wash. A gentleman approaches me. He says, "Ma'am, you're beautiful." I said, "Thank you, sir. I appreciate that." He said, "Do you have a boyfriend?" I said, "Yes, I do." I had no boyfriend. I had zero boyfriend. I walked out of that interaction and was like, What did you do? What was that? What was the point? How did you do that? Just, it was a gut response. I didn't even think about it. It was immediately, yes, I have a boyfriend. So it wasn't that I was mentally even telling myself I'm going to block this interaction. But when you are not positioned and ready to welcome love in all areas of your life, you will subconsciously block it. You don't even know why you blocked it. You don't even know why you didn't take the phone number. You don't even know why you didn't. You're subconsciously showing up in ways that are blocking intimacy and connection. And it's not just in romance. Positioning yourself for a relationship, I would tell you, starts with the relationships you have with your friends. Hear me out. Hear me out. How you receive love and intimacy from your friendship group, it speaks volumes to how you will receive love and intimacy from your romantic partners, right? So many times, the ways in which I allow myself to be vulnerable with my friends, or I allow myself to be vulnerable with the people that I have chosen, it mirrors how I engage in vulnerability with my partners. So if you're someone who, even inside your friend group, you only show them the pretty parts. We can go to brunch, we'll get dressed up, we'll do all these wonderful things, but we're not actually talking about the parts of my life that keep me up at night. I'll give you the PG version. I'll give you the edited version, but I'm not going to give you the version that's going to have me in tears. So even with my friends, I'm not fully myself. Even with my friends, I don't allow them to support me. Even with my friends, I don't give them my whole heart. So why do you think that now that you're in a relationship, it's going to happen then? It doesn't, right? So positioning myself to be in an actual relationship romantically starts in the low risk relationships, your family and your friends. How am I showing up with them that is honest, that is vulnerable, that is open, that allows them to meet my needs just as much as I aim to meet theirs, right? So it's a whole process. But the fact that you said, when do I start, lets me know you're not positioned, right? I would tell you to work on positioning yourself to have a open heart. This is not about finding a person. You're not there yet. We're just trying to get in a place where I'm even open to what could happen for me, not just in romance, but I deserve to be loved in every area of my life. I deserve to be cared for in every area of my life. I deserve to have friends who can see my vulnerable pieces. I deserve to have family members who respect my boundaries. In every area of my life, I'm lovable. And when I truly believe that, it will transfer over into my romance. And then you become a magnet. Okay. Then Then, okay, it's like somebody sprayed pheromones, okay? And that's the fun part. We ain't gonna go there. We'll go there one day. That's the fun part. Okay, what if you don't have family and friends? Work on that. That's if you don't have family and friends, right? Because however that came about, however that happened, what's stopping you from finding chosen family and chosen friends? What's stopping you from finding a community that can embrace you and where you can belong? What's stopping you from finding a church home where I feel like I have friendship and I feel like I have family here, right? Most of my family, that most of the people that I consider family are my chosen family, okay? My OG members know this. Most of the people that I call sisters, that I call my family, are my chosen family, not my biological family, right? So you were the author. Well, you ain't the author, but you definitely co-authoring. You are co-creating the life that you say that you deserve to have. So what exactly does that life look like? If I want friends, I become a friend. If I want family, I show up as family, right? So go out and go get it. Okay. Very good questions. Y'all have some great questions tonight. Yes, I gotta come to Canada. I gotta come to Canada. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna head over to YouTube because let me tell you something. I've been blocking people left and right on YouTube. Yeah. YouTube always has the trolls. I don't know why it's like that. If somebody knows how I can fix that, let me know. Okay. How do I support your partner? Okay. How do you support your partner through their own personal life transitions without projecting your experiences onto them? Okay. Let me read that one more time. How do I support my partner through their own personal life transitions without projecting your experiences onto them? Listen instead of advise. Number one, right? Because if I'm supporting my partner through their own life transitions, most times I'm not coming in as a advisor. I'm not coming in as a therapist. I'm not coming in as a fixer. I'm not here to fix. When I'm supporting my partner, it's I always say it's not about, especially if it's an emotional issue, it's not about me having the right answers. It's not about me knowing what to say to make them feel better. It's not about rescuing them from their pain. It's not about rescuing them from the hard decisions that they have to make. That is their journey, right? But to support my partner says that I am willing to stand and witness my partner in whatever area that they're in, whatever emotion that they have, that I can be someone who witnesses you at your highest and witnesses you at your lowest without judging you for it. And I'm here to listen. I'm here to be an open ear. I'm here for as long as you need to talk, I'm here to listen. If you want to cry, I got the tissues. If you need somebody to lean on, I'm strong enough for that. So it's not about me doing anything, right? So most people, when you're projecting your life experiences, you're coming in with what you know. Well, if it was me, well, when I did this, or this is what I think. It ain't about what you think. It ain't about what you feel. It ain't about even if, even if you feel like your partner is making the wrong decision, right? Or they're engaging or they're doing something that you don't agree with. It's not about what you agree or don't agree. I'm not here to judge you for how you go through your process. I'm not here to rush you through your process. I'm here simply to witness your growth. And as long as their growth and their transformation is not harming you in any way, you should be able to stand there as a loving, supportive partner to say, I support you no matter what this road looks like for you, right? That's what support looks like. Support is not fixing or doing for my partner. It's witnessing them, standing to witness with them through it. But I don't have to fix or do. Okay? Unless they ask you, unless they say, "Hey, what would you do?" Right? And even then, if someone says, ask me specifically, um, "What do you do?" Right? I'll say, uh, "Do you want? Hold on. Do you want like friend Brittany? Do you want lover Brittany? Do you want therapist Brittany?" Because they have different answers and they deliver the material a little different depending on which one I'm giving. Right? Because sometimes, certain topics have to be handled delicately and other topics I can be straight to the point. Right. So even if they do ask, I clarify what exactly are you looking for? Are you looking for a solution or do you just want me to tell you what I would do? Right. Because they could be two. Sometimes therapist Brittany and regular Brittany's answers, they conflict. They conflict. So I have to always make sure that I am in alignment, right, with whatever answer. But most importantly, it's knowing that supporting my partner does not mean fixing their problems. Supporting means I am here to witness. I'm here to make space for you without judgment, without rushing you, without making you feel like you're wrong. I'm willing to sit here in this with you. Okay? All right, all right, all right. If y'all are enjoying this, listen, you could have this every day because we do it in the Daily Fix every morning, right? Miss Sage says, "Why is healing so hard?" We literally had that conversation in the Daily Fix this morning about why the healing process is hard. Because healing is hard because number one, most people don't tell you the truth about what healing is. Right? Most people, I saw a video this morning where a girl, made a video and she was like, "Okay, this is for my girlies in the healing era." And I laughed. I did. I laughed. You know why? Because I was like, "Girl, healing doesn't even look like that." Healing is exhausting. Healing is gruesome. Healing is messy. Healing is unorganized. Healing is lengthy. Healing is heavy. It is not this cute, girly. No, you're going to look like Felicia and Friday when you're doing your most healing work. When you were in the depths of healing, you're going to look like you got beat up and somebody was whooping you. Okay. That's what healing looks like. Okay, especially when you're new to it, healing, it's not this kumbaya. You get angry through the healing process. You feel resentful through the healing process. There'll be times where you feel grateful and you feel excited and you're happy about where you're moving to. And then there's times where you're just angry and frustrated and you want to quit and you want to give up. That is what healing looks like. That is the truth about what healing is, right? I think we have to do a better job of preparing people. Yes, we say everybody go to therapy, do your work, and do all that. I understand. Yes. But what do you do when the therapy session everybody told you to go to sends you into a spiral and now you just want to drink all weekend? What do you do when the therapy session that everybody told you need therapy, so you went to therapy, and now you have all these wounds that have been opened and doors that have been opened and stuff that's falling out of closets, issues that you weren't even aware were issues. Okay, I remember I went to my therapist and we started talking about something. I was like, "Oh wait, I didn't come here for that. I did not. No, I did not come here for that. I came here for something else." Can we talk about that? Right? That's what the healing process looks. So I would tell you, as I told the Daily Fix this morning, that it's okay for you to feel all of the emotions that you're feeling. It's okay for you to feel like there's times when I want to give up or I feel like it's not even worth it. It's okay for you to get frustrated. It's okay for you to feel overwhelmed, right? And it's also okay for you to take a break sometimes. Every day and every moment doesn't have to be a healing moment. I always say, even in the midst of healing, we have to incorporate other parts of my healing journey, like joy. I have to incorporate happiness. I have to incorporate community. So every day on my healing journey is not all about pain and digging up all this pain and digging with these heavy stuff. Cool. Okay. All right. Right. But in the midst of my healing, I can also enjoy a walk in the park. I can also go look at some butterflies. I can also hang out with people that make my heart feel light. Those are also parts of the healing process. So when the journey gets too heavy and you feel like you want to shut down, take a break and enjoy some of the other parts of life, because all of those parts are also a part of the healing process. Okay? All right, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Let's go to Instagram. Let's see what questions y'all have. Y'all have a lot of questions. Dating advice for single women who don't have a social life. Get a social life, right? Because even if you're dating or not, you should still have a social life. You should have more about your life than work and home and church and the grocery store, right? Find some dance classes, find some fitness classes, find things that excite you, because having a full life is more than just finding a partner. There are so many people who found the partner and were still miserable because they found out that even with my partner, I was still unhappy because I didn't have a life that was fulfilling before they showed up. So someone showing up in my life doesn't make my life happy. If anything, it adds more pressure. It adds more, responsibility. Yeah, they come with happy parts, right? We get to, enjoy intimacy. We get to enjoy laughter together. But also, I'm now responsible for somebody's heart. So getting in a relationship doesn't fix that. Yes, so I do Q&As with my tribe every Friday. Hello, Miss Red. They see me every Friday. We do Q&A every Friday. She said I don't have to wait. Um, why does it feel like I keep attracting the same person? Because you're probably attracted to the same person, right? You're probably attracted to the same person, right? People approach you no matter what. You don't really control who approaches you. I think that as you grow and as you evolve, you will eventually find people, you'll find that people who will gravitate towards you look different. But even if people who gravitate towards me are looking different, more like the type of people I want to date, if I'm not attracted to them, I'm going to still pick the same person. So you can have great guys, right? You can have great guys approach you, great girls approach you. But if you haven't done your own inner work to understand what is it that I'm attracted to and why I'm attracted to it, you will keep choosing the wrong partners. If you want to become a part of the tribe, go to the dailyfix.co, or, oh, we had a QR code. Yes, we did. Because I put the QR code, I remembered to put the QR codes up. Hey, Calicia. You. Hello, Miss Monroe. How are you? Okay. Let me do another question, then I'm gonna give you all a journal prompt. Oh, goodness. Let me see. Okay. If you guys have not already, okay, if you haven't already, the people who have been on the tour know that we have the From the Heart journal. Okay. It's thick. Okay. It's big. The From the Heart journal has been available so far only to the people who have come to the Heart Talks tours. Um, and they can buy them at the tour, but we have put them on the website so that you can buy them on the website. I'm telling you, YouTube. Okay. So if you want to get the Heart Talks journal, it's right here. I'm blocking people, y'all. Hold on. Jesus, that just came out of nowhere. Hey, Schuler. Okay, I think I got them all. Jesus. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a journal. Um, the purpose, it's over 200 journal prompts. The goal is that when people leave Heart Talks, most times they leave with a lot of stuff on their mind. They leave with a lot of questions. And that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to make you think. I'm supposed to make you look at your life differently. I haven't done my job if you don't leave and think, maybe I can change something, right? That's my goal. I'm supposed to disrupt patterns. I'm supposed to disrupt, um, all types of dysfunction. That's what I do. So when they leave, they wanted to know what was next. And everybody cannot work with me individually. I don't do any individual appointments. So this is why we made the From the Heart journal. Over 200 journal prompts where you can ask yourself some very hard questions. If you've been working with me long enough, you guys know I get straight to the point. I like getting straight to the point. So many of the questions are very challenging. Like I always try to tell people, like, the purpose of this journal was to help you get to the core of what are the main issues that I'm struggling with, and how do I prepare myself, right? To ask the right questions. How do you even know what the right questions are? So I put those in there. All right. Um, yeah. I always say, yeah. It's a journal that you journal with on Sunday. I always took journal on Sunday because then you have time to reset and ask yourself some questions, because and you have time to cry. I've had a lot of people tell me that they started the journal and immediately just start crying, right? So let me tell you something. This is why something told me don't go public on YouTube. Okay. Next question. Oh, where can you get the journal? Right there. QR code, Heart Talks merch. And we will get it shipped out to you. Thank you, Wes. Listen, Wes, we're gonna need that. I'm gonna need that in a what's the testimonial on Amazon, okay? My book Made for This is on Amazon. You can Google my name on Amazon. The book is Made for This, and yes, it is a beautiful book. But I thank you, Wes. I appreciate that. Okay. Right. She says, I'm afraid of crying. You can't be afraid of crying if you watch my content. Come on, Miss Moni. Miss Moni says she got the journal a couple weeks at the LA tour. It has absolutely changed my life. I'm not gonna do that with y'all tonight. I'm not. So this is how y'all make me cry. Because when I create things, I always say everything I create, I it has a piece of me in it. Everything I do, I've always been like that. Everything I do, I have to put a piece of me in it. So when I created the journal, first of all, I went to some of my own journals and I pulled out the questions that I've had to answer for myself over the last couple of years. And this is why I know that it's not easy, because I've had to answer these questions, right? I've had to be honest with myself about why certain things were happening in my life and why certain patterns were repeating themselves. So get it and do the work, okay? I'm glad y'all enjoyed the book. Okay. Uh that QR code should go to the hearttalkstour.com. If it doesn't, go to the hearttalkstour.com and it'll take you, click on the merch link and it'll take you there. Okay. The code is not scanning. Would I ever consider doing an audio version of Made for This? Yes, I absolutely would. And the answer is yes, and I am gonna do it. The answer is yes, and I will do it. I just can't tell you when I'm gonna do it. But yes, many people have asked me to uh many people have asked me to record it because they like the sound of my voice. So yes. So yes, I absolutely will do it. Okay. And when I do it, I promise you, y'all will be the first ones to know because that's going to be a really big deal. I do want to record the book in my voice. I do. Okay. Okay. We're going to do one more question and then I'm going to give you the journal prompt for tonight. So, looking at Instagram, give me some questions in Instagram. Great question, Schuler. So, y'all going to tell me where to come. Okay. So, let me go to Schuler's question. Um, How can a person tell if they are truly processing something or if they are just suppressing the pain? Very good question. So, processing, first of all, happens in stages. It's not a light switch type thing, right? Processing something, I think of processing an emotion or processing a situation. Think of it like eating piece of pie or eating a pie, right? I have never eaten a whole pie just in one sitting, right? You get a slice of pie, you leave, and then you maybe come back. Maybe that's how you know I have a problem. You come back later that afternoon for another piece of pie, right? Or maybe you come back the next day for another piece of pie, right? But what happens is that you don't eat the whole pie in just one sitting. So when you're truly processing something, it can be weeks to months of you revisiting that thing and you're constantly digesting small pieces of it to where I may get this piece at this time and then a few weeks later I get another piece and then a few weeks later I understand this over here a little bit more and then a few weeks later a light bulb went off, right? So processing something is not a quick and speedy process. Some depending on what the issue is, it can take weeks, it can take months, right? I remember I had a friendship breakup that took me months to understand like what happened. Right. And so processing something, number one, you know that you're actually processing it instead of suppressing it when one, you're honest about how you feel. Right. Even if it's, I don't like this and I don't know why it's happening. This is upsets me. It hurts me. So you can actually label the emotion versus I'm over it. I'm done. I'm moving on. I got other stuff going on. No, you can be done with something. And also, I'm not done with something. And that can be my truth, right? So, what people miss is that truly honoring my emotions doesn't mean acting like they don't exist, right? So, I can say, this is someone that I'm never going to be in a relationship with again. This is a situation that I never am going to put myself back in. Cool. And I'm still hurt. And I'm still confused. And I still have questions, right? And I'm still grieving. right? So you'll know that you're processing something, one, when you have reached a place where you can be honest with yourself about the full truth of what that thing is. You'll know that you're processing something when you can see accountability on both parts, where they were accountable and also where you were accountable, right? You'll know that you're processing something um, when the emotions do come up, you have healthy outlets for them, right? So, listen, Jim, let me go work out some of this anger. All right. I remember I started hitting, I went to the gym, it was just boxing. I don't even box. Okay. Don't box. I ain't got no boxing gloves. But let me tell you something. I was wearing that little boxing thing out. Okay. Right. So being honest with myself, knowing that I need outlets for these emotions, I need healthy outlets for these emotions because they're just not going to go in, they're not going to evaporate. They stay with me. Right. So when you're processing, take the time limit off of it. You will get through it when you're through with it. And you won't even know that you're done with it until you're done with it. Like you won't even know until you see something or you hear something and you're no longer triggered and you're like, oh, dang, I'm over it now, right? So give yourself time, practice emotional honesty, revisit that pie as many times as you need to revisit it until the pie is completely gone, right? You'll know that you're suppressing it when you're not honest with yourself, when you have no healthy outlets, you just put something in a closet and then one day you erupt, right? You'll know that you're suppressing it when you don't talk about it to anybody, you're not verbally trying to talk it out with yourself or with other people, therapist, safe people, right? That's how you know when you're suppressing it, is when you're trying to act like it doesn't exist or that I'm over it, I'm unbothered. No, I can be over something and I'm still bothered by it. I can know that I don't want anything to do with them and I'm still bothered. That's the truth. All right, let's get to our journal prompts. Who's ready for the journal prompts? Okay, now y'all have to actually do the journal prompts. Okay, if I give homework, listen, please hear, I think about sweets every day. I think about sugar so much so that certain people at the gym know that I'm trying to, detox off sugar. And so they approach me and they're like, "How are you doing today? Did you have any sugar?" And I'm like, "No, I'm staying strong. I'm doing good. I'm drinking my water." So yes, I am trying to, I'm getting birthday ready. So I'm trying to, stay off that sugar. Okay. We have a dress to fit into. Okay. Who's ready for the journal prompts? Let's get to it. I'm opening to just a random page. I love that. Yes. Okay, so first of all, this is the quote. It's backwards. Okay. The quote on the page says, "Love who loves you." That is a quote I live by. All right. I believe it goes against my own personal boundaries for me to pick people who haven't picked me. It goes against my own boundaries for me to choose people who have not chosen me. So when the quote says, "Love who loves you," I am committed to showing up for those who show up for me. I'm committed for loving on those who love on me. I'm not focusing on the people who don't love me. I'm not focusing on the people who are waiting for me to jump through hoops to show that I'm worthy of love. I'm not focused on those people, but I give all of my energy, effort, concern, time, and resources to the people who have shown me that they love me, right? So you don't put effort into people who don't love you. You put effort into those who do. That's who we focus on. So the journal prompts, and I love that this came up tonight. It says, "What is one thing that I can do or start building?" Okay, I read that wrong. What is one thing I can do to find or start building the community that I've always wanted? So this one, turn off my video. Oh, hey, Candy. And Candace, thank my administrators. Thank y'all for being here because y'all know I'll be struggling. Okay. So the journal prompt is, what is one thing I can do to find or start building the community that I've always wanted? Right. The reason why I love this question is because, one, we live in a society where, even though we have all this technology, we are the most loneliness. It was a study that came out that said loneliness was, I think, the fourth leading cause of either death or depression or both, right? And typically, if your loneliness that leads goes into suicidal ideations, commit suicide, successfully committed suicides, right? We have the loneliness epidemic going on with men right now, right? So we have all these ways to connect, but yet we feel the most disconnected that we have ever felt as a society. The reason why this journal prompt is near and dear to my heart is because, for all my people who know, who my day one followers know, that I was someone who had to learn how to live in community. I was someone who had to learn how to come out of self reliance, come out of self dependence, because my defense mechanisms were, Brittany can rely on Brittany. Thank you, Jerica. It's page 144 in the journal. Page 144 in the journal. But yeah, I had learned self reliance, and I felt safest when I only depended on myself. And so that got in the way of me building relationships with people that were authentic, that got in the way of me being vulnerable, that got in the way of me being open to love, because I was only open to receiving love from Brittany. I was only open to love me and me alone, right? Because I trust me, right? I didn't trust the rest of the world because I had been dropped. I have a history of neglect, right? So learning how to actually live in community in a healthy way, where I allowed people to show up for me, where I allowed people to hold me, where I allowed people to help me, that was new. Okay. That was the most rewarding, but also the biggest struggle that I had, was letting people really see me. That was a big issue. Right. So the journal prompt, again, thank you, Wes, for putting it in the chat. What is one thing I can do to find or start building the community I always wanted? If you didn't come from a healthy family, build one. If you didn't come from a family that was loving and kind, build one. If you didn't come from people who affirmed you and gave you care and nurtured you, build it. The reason why I was able to allow myself to lean into the people that I now call my family, right, is because I reached a place in my healing where I said, I was deserving of love. I was deserving of kindness. I was deserving of someone showing up for me, right? I was always deserving of it, even if it didn't show up. So by allowing other people to love on me, it's how I was able to correct what didn't happen in childhood. It's how I was able to correct what I felt like I missed in childhood. So the more you can learn how, but allow yourself to live in community and build in community, it shows how much you love you. I love myself enough to let other people love me too. I love myself enough to let other people love me too. So I want you guys to do this journal prompts, okay? Tag me in it. I like to see the tags. Hey, Dr. Elijah, how are you? How are you? Okay, 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 okay. Dr. Elijah, he says, I want to cover someone's membership for 3 months to get them started. I love his heart. Oh, I love Dr. Elijah. All right, Dr. Elijah, you can pick somebody if you want to, and you can sponsor their membership for 3 months. That's beautiful. Awesome. Okay. gift whose membership I can cover for 3 months. Okay, if you would like to join the Daily Fix for 3 months, sponsored by Dr. Elijah Frazier, okay, friend of the Daily Fix, comment in the chat. I am ready. Comment. Oh, I already see. I already see it. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna scroll randomly. Dr. Elijah, you know I have a problem picking. Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna randomly pick a person, y'all. I promise you, I'm just scrolling, and then whichever one my cursor is on, that's who I'm picking. Okay. I'm just scrolling up and down, scrolling. Okay, there we go. Scrolling up and down, scrolling up and down. Lil Baby Michelle is the winner. Lil Baby underscore Michelle on Instagram. Can you please DM me your email address and we will get you hooked up for Dr. Elijah. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, Dr. Elijah. Make sure that y'all are following him on Instagram because he is a wealth of knowledge. If y'all think I'm good, he is good. Okay, and credentialed and knowledgeable. Okay, I'm all for having credentialed people on my platform. Okay, so Dr. Elijah Frazier is sponsoring Lil Baby Michelle, and I appreciate you guys. So DM me, and we will get you set up for sure. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so y'all do the journal prompts. I will be back next Tuesday for. I'm telling you, I'm not out of town next week. I should be here. I'll be back next Tuesday for our next live Q&A. Thank you guys for joining, and do the journal prompt. Let me know how it goes for you. Get the journal, all right, so that you can have your own tool for personal growth in this season. To the Daily Fix members, I will see you guys in the morning. Y'all have an amazing night. Get some rest, drink your water.